Hey, Lovers Nation. It is your host, Miss Diva. Thanks so much for coming by. Now, listen, in a recent news, the often extra yet so very fabulous Truth Hurts singer Lizzo was invited to dance Sunday at a Lakers game, and it turned into a major debate across social media. Are you missing this? Are you seeing this? Are you listening to it? Have you even seen the video? So we're going to talk about that today. She's got an ensemble on, and it's being talked about as she was twerking. Then you have some body topics going on as well in this whole one incident on Sunday. So I want you guys to take a listen. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a little bit of extra, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk this topic and more. Thanks so much for coming back for another Ask Diva. So you can follow me on social media at Miss Diva for you. That is my handle on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, MZDEEVA, the number 4YOU. You also can go to the Facebook page, hashtag ASKDEEVA. You can also find that page on Instagram, hashtag ASKDEEVA. For all things Diva, go to askdiva.onuniverse.com. Thanks, everyone. Our friend to tell another friend to tune in to the Ask Diva show. Thanks, lovers. Thanks so much for tuning in. So what I'm going to do is I will make sure that you know that the chat is open, but that is probably going to be about it. And I'm not going to do too much with that. And if you want to chat, you guys know that you can chat. It'll pop up to give you that information over there on Facebook, okay? So we're not going to spend too much time giving you the rundown because by now, you guys are well aware. 1,300 downloads later. We're on every podcast. We just joined Luminary. We are just all over the place right now. So you're getting pretty familiar with how the Ask Diva show works. So here's the deal. Lizzo is seen twerking courtside, and she even gets invited to dance. So she gets invited to join the team. So she's at the Lakers game, and she's got on this ensemble. I'm going to play you a little something that I was on an earlier morning show this morning where they asked her about it and had a conversation about it. So I'll play you a little bit of a clip from there in her own words, kind of response to it all. But, you know, the videos have been clipped and chopped and screwed in so many different ways, right? So it's like, okay, did she just like parade around, you know, with her thong out the entire time? Or did the thong just end up being visible because she started dancing? Was she just sitting there just bare booty on the chair the whole time? Like, what really happened? And this is so much that has gone on. Now, there's a lot of responses to this, which triggered a even older conversation. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Like a certain person decided to ask Lizzo to join his team, and it triggered another debate that we thought we had kind of buried, so to speak, not forgotten, because too often people think that if you just recreate the narrative, you think we're going to forget about what happened in Black America, and that is not what happens. Sometimes you bring that PTSD level of memory back, and it brings that old hurt back up, and then you start having these, you know, Michael Vick haters and Colin Kaepernick hater type people trolling Black America to say, oh, that doesn't matter. If it hurt Black people back then, it's going to still hurt now. It's not, you cannot take something that happened so recently in years and think that it's not going to hurt us when slavery is still kicking our ass, right? So you guys got to stop telling us how to feel. And I'm going to read you some important responses on social media regarding that. But yes, all of this has come about from Lizzo being seen in this thong while she's dancing with these Lakers dancers. And so the responses have come back. The Houston Rockets actually invited her to dance with their dance team. So, you know, there's that. And I'm pretty sure that Lizzo's not in you know, seeking any more fame than what she already has at this point. So I'm pretty sure that we could just go with the fact that she is just being Lizzo, and unapologetically so, right? So she's just being who she are, and that comes with her brand and everything that she is. And there are some, you know, really serious types that said, well, I had my young children that I would never send to a Lizzo concert. You know, I had them at the Lakers game, and I think that it's inappropriate that they had to be exposed to something that I wasn't prepared for. There was no warning given to me. And then they're exposed to some images that I never would have exposed my child to. Now, as much as that irritates us as we kind of see it as deflection in a sense. Yes, absolutely. Overkill, absolutely, because it tends to be done that way whenever it's a black woman, right? But if you just take the argument by itself without putting any racial tension or intent to it, and you just take that argument right there that the moms gave, that's a fair one. Moms have the right to say, I want my child to see Madonna, or I don't. Right? So if Madonna comes out and she's dressed all half, naked, don't act like that hasn't happened. Right? So if Madonna comes out, she's dressed all half naked and they have their children there, they are not the type of persons that it's at a regular basketball game, a football game, and they would not take their child to, an event with that particular person performing. So there's no announcement or anything, and Madonna's or someone is being said, oh, she ended up half naked, and my child was exposed to that. That's the valid argument for a parent that would not take their child to see someone that's half naked like Madonna or Jennifer Lopez, or someone that doesn't have their clothes on, right? So it's not just, you can take it and see some fairness in that. But then there's always the overkill, where the white mom just exaggerates all the way, just goes so far, and it starts becoming like hatred, and it comes into the body shaming because you're black kind of thing. So you guys do cross the line often. I've seen you cross that line so many times across social media, especially like when we're looking at the responses to the Michael Vick situation. The NFL has come and said, okay, I see this guy. He's a changed guy. He's doing great things. We don't have any issues. But there's got this one group of angry soccer moms that want to kill Michael Vick, so to speak, And so that you just take it so far so you can have a valid argument, and then you can have that moment when you just go way too far with it. And that is exactly what has now happened from a moment of Lizzo exposing her outfit to people that may not have wanted to see that particular ensemble, to it just being sort of hatred and racism and black woman body shaming, and is now a part of the conversation. So you guys are going in a different direction that you always tend to go. So you always take it overboard, and that's what sparks the debates, and that's when the controversy begins, right? So also in this Lizzo debate is Tommy Hilfiger. You guys don't ask me why, because I have no idea. But Tommy Hilfiger states, according to TMZ, that he wants Lizzo, right? So I guess he is asking for Lizzo to. I'm assuming that he's asking for Lizzo to show up, right, and collab with her, regarding clothing, right? So yes, there was a lot of responses to that, including a response that I made in regards to that. So I'm going to say this: what I said. I said, here's this, Lizzo. If you say yes, due to racial tension with this company in the past, don't act like we don't know that happened in the past. It's not. The great debate that's on social media right now regarding Tommy Hilfiger comments to Lizzo, the great debate is the people that tend to be, like, I called out one lady, and I said, let me guess, you're so gung-ho on this thing about thinking that we don't have a right to be upset about Tommy Hilfiger, even still to this day. You're so gung-ho on this. Let me ask you this. Are you a Michael Vick and Colin Kaepernick hater, and do you support Trump? And she said, I don't know how you guessed that, but you're right. Girl, it's too easy. Y'all tend to all be in the same category. So anyway, I said to this my response to this on TMZ, Facebook was, if you say yes, Lizzo, due to racial tension with this company in the past, be sure that he provides you an all-black Hilfiger staff to work with for the entire collaboration of whatever it is that you do. I am unapologetically feeling that is the only thing that maybe will make this be okay. Because whether or not Tommy Hilfiger did or did not say it, the assumption that was out there for a very long time that even impacted sales, if you do the research, impacted sales with Tommy Hilfiger, was that Tommy Hilfiger said that he never intended for us, black Americans, black people, to wear the clothing line. So that was said for so long, and it was put out there and not denied for quite a while. So it really was damage control responses that were put out after that particular thing was being said that had been said. So messy it be it or not, it's still something that hurts Black America. It was a very pivotal time in Black American history. So you can't just say that, that did not matter. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it started, a lot of, feelings about what do you wear? What is okay to wear? Do all these designers feel that way? And what designer is okay with us and what isn't? Who isn't? And so putting Black people as models, later on after the hurt's already been done, that's not really a redemption. And all it does is just puts a Band-Aid on some very hurtful crap, which is what happens often on these type of incidents. So yeah, if you decide to work with them, Lizzo, I'm sure you know your history, but if you don't, I would definitely say the only thing that really would fix this, make it an all-Black team. Do some really all-Black type shit with this. And yes, make it something that will, soothe the waters, so to speak, in what's, unfolding with that, because a lot happened with that, So I did tell you guys I was going to get this clip in for you. Let me see if I still have it up. And so I wanted you to hear, if I could pull it back up, I'll pull it back up. I wanted you guys to hear what Lizzo had to say earlier. So it's basically she was just like, I am me. I am unapologetically me. This is my brand. This is what I believe in. She also said something in that CBS This Morning when she was talking to Gail, and she said that her butt was something that she was insecure about for a while, and her butt was something that she did not like about herself for a while, and so she found herself to be okay with that. And from that moment of being okay with her backside and learning to love her backside, then this is the way that I am, and I don't have to answer to anybody about it. And so there's so many different levels that we probably could talk about it. We probably could talk about it all day, right? Let's go over here to something that I read, and I want to read to you guys from on Twitter from Sheryl Bedford, and she's a producer, educator, activist. She said something, and I shared that on my Facebook page, so I want to share that with you guys. Make sure I kind of share it to you, read it to you in order. So I'm going to go over there to where I have it on Facebook. So she said, now how to find her on Twitter, at Sheryl. So it's at CHERYL _ capital C, capital L, capital B, capital P. So at Sheryl _ CLBP. So she says, regarding Lizzo shaking her ass, the controversy comes down to policing Black bodies, especially fat Black bodies. She said her story years ago, she went to Pearl Harbor Memorial. It was hot, wearing shorts, a halter top, bathing suit top, and an overshirt, 275 pounds, had a 44F cup and a fourth, and a skinny white female employee not only told me to cover up, but proceeded to shame me about what I was wearing at a memorial and called me disrespectful in front of people that were waiting in line with me and my friend. I guess it never occurred to her that my grandfather was a Navy World War II vet, so I buttoned up my overshirt, and as I walked around, proceeded to point out to my friend every thin white woman in a bathing suit and halter top, of which there were many showing much more cleavage. So you can take your faux outrage someplace else, because I call bullshit. Society has been policing Black fat bodies for years, and this shit needs to stop. # mind your business. So that's a very valid point, and I like that she made that point. I said that I was going to share with you guys. I'm going to try to, if I'm able to, I'm going to try to share with you, but I'll do that at the end of this in a few more minutes. I'll share with you something from a book that I had wrote that kind of touched on it from a dating perspective. So that's a valid argument. So what are we then saying when we have this conversation about Lizzo? What are we then saying to the women who are shaped like Lizzo? What are we saying to women, plus size women everywhere? What are we saying that it's not okay for you to choose your own outfit. It's not okay for you to go out in something that you feel sexy in or you feel beautiful in. It's not okay. So why is there restrictions on the plus size so much and then not putting restrictions on the thin woman? So that's a very valid argument right there. And do we tend to see that, what's some really good examples? There's some examples out there of plus size white women, right? So you guys can throw those out there for me. We'll talk about those, maybe have a conversation about it when we hit social media on this conversation. But, is it that you're going really, really hard? Because we already know that the black woman is the most disrespected woman in the world. Those are not untrue words. The black woman is the most the black woman is the most disrespected woman in the world. And too often there is a need to just bash and slam the decisions that the black woman makes over and go overboard, and more so than you would if this individual had have been a white person. So yes, that's a valid argument to say this is a black and white thing. Lizzo is being shamed because she's black, because if she was not black and she was pulling a stunt like this, then this would be held acceptable. Now you do have to go into understanding that she's also an artist. So, and she has a brand, and she has kind of something that goes with that brand, and there's a look, there's a sound, there's everything that is expected of her fan base. So some of us are in it just for, the great music, which I'm always on the side of the music more so than the image, which irritates people, as we talked about on the previous podcast when we talk about hip hop, right? But so she has an image and she's an artist, and that's just what she goes with. And it may change. We may see it change over time, but we know that we already know that artists express themselves in their way, and they are very they're like their brand is like their child. They're passionate about that, and they feel a certain way. So you're attacking their brand when you attack just this one issue. So the explanation that was given by Lizzo in so many words, and you can go and just look up the interview for CBS this morning where she was talking to Gail, but it was something regarding there was a lot of layers on the outfit that wasn't being portrayed. There were parts, I guess, where it exposed her butt, but that was not something that was the main focus. So I'm guessing that maybe if she turned to the left or to the right, maybe that's what made it, or twerking, I guess, would make the butt come out more. I don't know. She's saying that there was a lot of layers to the outfit. She's not saying that she didn't know her butt was out, but she is saying that there was a lot of layers to the outfit. So, is that to blame the cameraman? Not sure. Is that to blame the people that were capturing the parts of the body that would show enough to make it controversial? Not sure. But that was an explanation that she did give. And like I said, she did say that there was a time when she was very insecure about the way that her butt was. And also that she had to grow to love her behind. And so maybe, I don't know. There's so many angles to this that we could just go on forever. But I did tell people that what this did do is I wrote a book, and it's called Reasons He Dates Plus Size. And this did bring me back to that book. It was one that I had written a while back. But this did bring me back to that, and I wanted to see just if I could just kind of go into the intro a little bit, right? So I wrote a book called Reasons He Dates Plus Size. Sorry about that, you guys, because I had to go and pull the book from where I wanted to read it from, right? So you can get the Kindle right now on Amazon. If you have the little Kindle promo going on right now, and you can pay $0 and click and pay $0 for 30 days and then $9.99 a month, or you could do 99 cents a month for 3 months, and then it'll be $9.99 a month. So you can just actually go grab it right now for 99 cents or $0 and go in and take a read yourself. It's called Reasons He Dates Plus Size. You can always also find it over on Books A Million. So there's a chapter in there. So I said, well, maybe I'll just kind of just highlight where I was going in this book. But it made me think about, this book, because men tend to date plus size women in a negative way. And that's what I highlight in the book. I do highlight the fact that there are, towards the end of the book, I talk about the men that do date plus size women and have good intent. But I am highlighting that, they tend to think certain things just because the woman has weight on her. So it's not directly on topic, but a little on topic from that particular situation with Lizzo, when looking at all the conversations that were coming up with that, right? So the chapter here I'm going to read to you is called Insecurities. So he tells himself no one will want her, which gives him a sense of security. So the myth, okay, so I go into the book. Ask Diva. Oh, the myth some men will convince themselves of when they are full of insecurities and dating women who they think lack authentic respect for. These types get caught up in the illusion that because a woman is over a certain weight, then it must mean no one else wants her, so they feel safe in their approach. Blinded by his insecurities, men assume they are this woman's gift of a lifetime. This type of guy assumes no other men will have the plus size woman, so they suit up in a representation gear and head towards a long-term life of a facade with her. If the plus size queen has not been awakened to this behavior, she will not see the arrogance he has used to pursue and capture her. This type of guy comes equipped with words full of beauty, yet delivers only mediocre relationship behavior. Still caught in a mode of what others think, this type of guy will rarely take this lady that he promises constant lies to anywhere public. He will attempt to create this quiet life away from the public's eye where she can cater to his constant need of attention, all while he ignores her wants and desires, well, outside of the bedroom, that is. And so I talk about the reason why I brought this type of guy up is because they have this assumption he's insecure within himself. So that's what makes him think that all plus size women have insecurities. Now, there are many plus size women out there, but they're not all made the same. And not by the majority, plus women are not insecure in the way that people think. But all plus size women aren't insecure. I just don't think that we can say all about anything. So I just refuse to say that all plus women are insecure, right? So a clinical psychologist says something, and I added this in the book as well, from Is It Love or Is It Insecurity? An insecure man can be especially tempting to you. Plus size women is who I'm directing it to, particularly if your last relationship was with a narcissistic man who was all about himself and not interested in you, or if your last relationship was with a predatory man. So viewed through the eyes of a woman who has been burned in any one of these relationships, an insecure man may seem sensitive and interested in you. In one way, that is true. He is interested in the love that you have to offer, but the insecure man can also be a bottomless pit that might just drain you of every drop of love that you possess. And so we talk about that in the book. So I want you guys I just thought that it was important to make sure that, for the women that may be experiencing some things in the dating world, and for the plus size women that may be experiencing dating and not really able to read those type of guys that are really there for who they are as they are at the moment that they are, or for, know the difference between the one that's using you for what he thinks that you're not about yourself, and the one that's just really just there to date you and image is not an issue, right? So that's what I write about in Reasons He Dates Plus Size. Again, that's by Miss Diva Shields, and you can find that on Amazon Kindle. You can also find it in paperback, or you can go to Books A Million and find it in paperback as well. So that's something that I thought I'd throw in since we were having the plus conversation. But the Lizzo controversy, like I said, it's out there, and it's got some women, black and white, are just upset about, they're saying that they're upset that the images are constant derogatory in a sense to them. And so I've seen a lot of that on social media, that they are just growing tired of seeing it. And then there are the women that are defending it and says she's obviously confident in her body, etc. But I did find it interesting in that interview on that, how she did say she was insecure about her body and her butt and had to learn to love her butt, and that's why she's exposing it now. And then I also thought it was interesting when she talked about her depression and how she goes still to this day through spells of depression. So I kind of thought maybe there are some things about her that maybe she's not all the way happy with. Health-wise, I'm not here to say only skinny people are healthy, but I know that it is really important from a medical perspective, from things that my doctor tell me about taking the weight off. So it is not healthy to keep a lot of weight on you for many reasons regarding your organs and your limbs and knees can start giving out on you, and back can start giving you trouble, and all kind of things like that. So maybe this will be a great way to open the door for a health conversation for women that she's motivating, that she may be able to begin that, to start having a mind and body and health conversation with plus size women, so she could spin this a different positive direction, right? So that's all I have to say tonight on Lizzo. Thanks you guys for coming by and taking a listen once again to What's Current. And lovers, I appreciate you for following all the podcasts wherever you're listening at. So Luminary is one of the new podcasts, Podcast Addict, one of the new areas that I found that the Ask Diva podcast is now connected on as well. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all those locations still happening. Spreaker still happening. Thank you so much for being a part, Lovers Nation, and you guys have a great one.
Okay, I get it. So you do not want to go over to different places all over the place, every podcast app. You don't want to download a bunch of things on your phone, or you just don't have the room on your phone. I solved that for you. So you can go to askdiva.onuniverse.com, go to the podcast page and just click on the various ones, take a listen, or just go to YouTube. Some people don't want to download a bunch of apps. You can just go to YouTube. Ask Diva is on YouTube. So it's various places. I'm trying to make it happen for everyone because you all use different apps. So I understand that. Do what's best for you. I'm going to make the show available on every app that I can. A friend to tell another friend to tune in to the Ask Diva show.